Hello, this is Doug Brook at NorthStar DHI Services. Today we're going to be taking a look at goals for healthy dairies and how we can look that information up within the PCDART program. A couple of the goals we're going to be looking at today will be milk fever, retained placentas, ketosis, displaced abomasum, and mastitis. So I'm going to be using the tracker part of PCDART and the activity tracker. And we're going to look at information that is stored in the PCDART program using Tracker to pull that information out. I want to be able to look at least fresh days. And since we're looking at health conditions today, we're going to be looking at retained placentas. We're going to be looking at mastitis, milk fever, ketosis, and displaced abomasums. So once I have selected all those items here on the right hand side, I can go ahead and preview this report, and I can see the number of incidences of each one of these health conditions over the past 365 days. Now, one thing I really want to do when I take a look at that information is look at percentages so that I know what kind of incidence percentage there is. So I'm going to choose days in milk here. Then I'm going to preview the report, show my percentage of calvings. If I'm looking at displaced abomasums, we should be looking at something 3% or less if it's a real healthy dairy. Ketosis, we would be looking at 3% or less for healthy dairies. Milk fever, 3% or less. And retained placentas, 5 to 7%. Mastitis incidences would be anything that would be less than 3% per month that's clinical. So this particular herd has some mastitis that is well within that range. There are a couple areas of ketosis and DAs that we might want to take a look at with our veterinarian and our feed people. So I would need to go to the input desk and I would look at assign health conditions. And the health conditions that come standard with PCDART do not include ketosis, do not include DAs. You would have to add that information in assigning health codes as part of the input desk. DAs is also not one of those you would find here in PCDART in the defined health conditions when you first get a herd. When we're looking at mastitis, instead of doing right front, left front quarters, we would change these health conditions to mild, moderate, and severe. If I wanted to add a health condition just as an example, I'm going to be using health condition 72. I'm going to call that DA. My description would be displaced abomasum. Now that has been added here as a health condition I can keep track of, along with milk fever, ketosis, and we already had DA there, and we could change those mild, moderate, and severe health conditions to be able to keep track of that information throughout the year. So just as a guideline, when we're looking at healthy dairies, we're looking then at milk fever that is less than 3%, retained placentas 5 to 7% that per year, ketosis incidences 3%, DAs less than 3%, and mastitis 3% or less per month. This is Doug Brook at NorthStar DHI Services. You may contact me at either of the telephone numbers that are on the screen or send me an email. Thank you.